All right, what up, y'all? So last night's Monday Night Raw, to be completely honest with you, it was an exciting show. It was a entertaining show. But the things I've heard already, this is the greatest Raw of all time, and it was amazing. I can't believe what Triple H and the WWE put on. What did they put on? The only thing they put on to me was a pure example that when all of these part-timers like John Cena, Roman Reigns, Brock Lesnar, when all of these people retire, this company is cooked. Think about it. Take away John Cena's last Raw, take away Roman coming back again, Brock coming back again, and AJ Lee coming back again, and Dolph Ziggler coming back again. All superstars that Vince McMahon created. All of these superstars that Vince McMahon created, and Triple H brings them out just to get the big pop. That's the only thing he did. What was the miraculous creative story that came out of Monday Night Raw? Nothing. All y'all are just noticing is the pop. And oh my gosh, the show was just a bunch of OMG moments. That's all it was. Now, with this company and their track record with the shows being boring, OMG moments usually gets a lot of people excited because it's like, oh wow, look at that. But to me, these moments should only be set up for like the Royal Rumble, where the main premise is for returns. And at this rate, the Royal Rumble might be the best Royal Rumble we've ever seen in our lives because that's literally what Triple H does. All he knows how to do is book returns and get pops. So the Royal Rumble, by this logic, should be the greatest Rumble we've ever seen. Ever. But back to Raw. Like I said, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a boring show, which at the lowest bar, at least the show wasn't boring. But when I'm looking at this and I'm like, okay, you got John Cena who's retiring next month. Take him out. Roman, who's going to be here once, maybe twice a month, take him out. Brock as well, take him out. He should be retired and going out this company, but whatever. Dolph Ziggler, he came back. He ain't going to be a full-timer. AJ Lee, she ain't going to be a full-timer. So when you just take away all of the part-timers and then you look at what happened on this show with the full-timers, this is a regular run-of-the-mill ass Raw. Take John Cena out of the beginning segment and we get Sheamus and Ray versus the Judgment Day. Ooh, riveting television. Take AJ Lee's return out of the Maxine and Becky Lynch match and you get Maxine winning the IC Championship. Cool, cool. Solo Sikoa will probably fight someone from the Raw roster. You know what I'm saying? All right. And then the most non-war War Games match of all time, the good guys versus the bad guys. And then you add in big 2025, Roman Reigns and Brock Lesnar. A washed Brock Lesnar and a halfway out the door Roman Reigns. And I'm supposed to be like, ooh, this is wrestling. WWE, then now forever together. I'm supposed to be hype. I'm supposed to be hype. Now, I'm sure if you were at MSG, you know what I'm saying? I'm sure you were having a great time. You know what I'm saying? You probably, the big moments. The shows are so much better when you're there live. I feel like you're willing to excuse a lot of small things if you're there live. Me watching at home, I was just like, okay. Like, there was nothing that was going to get me to stand up and start running around my room. And that's what wrestling, for me, wrestling should be like that. Every single week, there should be some kind of story or something where I have to stand up and be like, oh my gosh, what am I watching right now? And people can't tell me that this is unrealistic because it's happened before. Triple H has no idea how to create new stars for this company. So when you realize that when Cena, Roman, Brock, Cody, Punk, AJ, when all of these people retire, Randy, Rollins, where are we left? What are we left with? Even with the women too. When Becky and Charlotte get out the way, what are we gonna do when Bayley gets out the way? In a way, I think the women are a lot better because you have Io, Rhea, Bianca, Liv, Stephanie, Julia when she's being booked correctly. So the women are in a much better spot. At this point, I'm willing to call this show Women's World Wrestling or Women's World Entertainment. Women's World Entertainment. Yeah, right? Yeah. Let's call it that. Let's call it that. Because we can't call it anything else because it's going to be the women's show. And it should be. because the women have been whooping the men's ass for the better part of a year, maybe a year and a half, because Triple H has no idea what to do. So now we're going to be left with people who are mid-carders at the moment, and we're going to be forced to treat them as main event superstars like they're trying to do with old ass Jey Uso, who makes them a whole bunch of money. So 9 times out of 10, he will never leave the main event scene. You know? This company makes me laugh because they do the same thing like once a month, maybe twice a month. They have this big show, the go home show, where Roman Reigns makes his return and then he fights, guess who? Bronson Reed. This show was just a Triple H stimulus package. That's what it was. He does the big returns, he does the big pops, and he does the brawl at the end of the show. That's all it was. I'm sitting here watching this. I'm like, is this supposed to be chaos and Raw before the show ends? They did the little watermark thing where they think the show's over, and then Roman Reigns comes out with the arm sleeve like Carmelo Anthony. Uh-oh. And then Roman and Brock have this WrestleMania 34 ass standoff. Brock is so washed he can't even jump on the apron anymore. Roman is just going through the motions at this point. He ain't got to do much at all. Logan Paul, like the existence of Logan Paul, like, it's just so funny to me because none of this feels like war games. AEW Blood and Guts felt more drastic and more aggressive, more passionate, more what's the different word? Violent, And to be fair, we haven't seen the War Games match yet, but we know we're gonna get. Oh, here comes a steel, a trash can lid, a kendo stick. We want tables. Here comes a table. Oh wow, we might get some blood, maybe. But I don't want them to go full AEW with drowning in the glass and the AEW. That's not that's not needed. That's not needed. But at least if you're not gonna fill in that excitement gap with with the violence and stuff like that, at least give me a good story. And the story of Division versus the good guys is stupid, mainly because the main guy that's been feuding with Division for 6 to 7 months, L.A. Knight, is nowhere to be found. He's on SmackDown beating Zack Ryder. That's what LA Knight's doing. LA Knight's gonna be not gonna be the man to retire John Cena. Yeah, LA Knight, the guy that Triple H hates. You think he's gonna be the one that? No, it's probably gonna be Gunther. And speaking of Gunther and Javon, that was my moment for the show. That where I was like, I'm having a fun time right now. Gunther and Javon went out there and showed why Javon is the future and why Gunther is the now. That was a very fun match for me. Gunther winning, no problem. I in a way, I'm hoping for Gunther and Melo final, but Carmelo Hayes being black, Triple H is not going to put him in the main event. So, yeah. But 9 times out of 10, Gunther is going to win. And I will give Triple H credit on this matter. With the Matt Cardona / Zack Ryder return and the Nick Nemeth, / Dolph Ziggler return, they both lost. And I appreciate that. Solo Sikoa beat Dolph Ziggler, and L.A. Knight, defeated Zack Ryder. I was really worried that he was going to have people come in and just win. You know what I'm saying? That's not needed. Solo Sikoa is the younger star. He needs that. L.A. Knight, I don't know if he's younger than Cardona is, but L.A. Knight needed that because L.A. Knight's been getting pinned and bitched for I don't know how long now in consecutive weeks. You feel me? Nikki Bella and Stephanie, I'm fully on board with that. I love Nikki Bella. I love Stephanie. Whatever happens with that match, I'm okay. I imagine Stephanie retains, but I like the feud. I like Nikki Bella being a heel. Ain't nobody gonna tell me nothing bad about Nikki Bella. I'm just not hearing it. And a small thing. I love that they're telling a story that Charlotte doesn't want to be a part of the War Games match because of her history with Rhea. I really like that. I hate when they have like two rivals in the same team and they're like, oh, we have a common enemy. So now we're friends. Coexist. Yet, no, I don't want to see that. I don't want to see that. For the first time, Charlotte Flair is showing some emotion in her robotic iOS system brain character that she has, finally she's like, oh, I have history with that person. I don't want to team up with them. I don't care if it's to fight the Kabuki Warriors or not. You feel me? So I like that. The only bad thing is Charlotte's probably going to end up on the team. She's probably going to come out and save their ass or some shit. I need Charlotte to stay out of this match. If you're going to go this route and give me some continuity, if you're going to go this route and give me this Charlotte really can't do it because Rhea's there, that's fine. That's great. I love it. Fine. Charlotte has to stay out of this match. She cannot join later on. She can't be on SmackDown and have a change of heart. Charlotte Flair, the natural heel, should not have a random change of heart and now just be cool with being on Rhea's team. And no, Charlotte attacking Rhea after the match is not going to change anything. Leave her out the match and fill it in with, I don't know, somebody. Be creative, Triple H. I know that's a hard thing for you to do, but think of somebody. It's not my job to think about it. You do it. If I drop somebody, you're not going to do that person. And then I'm going to be disappointed. So, yeah. But, again, Monday Night Raw, it wasn't a bad show. It wasn't a boring show. It was just a show that Triple H knows how to do. And the only three things he knows how to do is get the big pop, which is for a few seconds, throw back a big return, which, again, no effort, and then have a brawl at the end, which, again, no effort. What was the major story coming out of Raw? They're going to fight at War Games? We know. We've known that for weeks now. What was the major story? John Cena's last Raw? We've known this is going to be his last Raw. We know that. What else? Nothing else. And that's the problem. Y'all stay safe, drink water. I love you guys. Praise God. And I will see you next video, man.